exploration towards the One. Time unbound, the circle of all creation machines the experience of hyperdimensional self. The body, the infinite spacesuit of physical form, is the slowest manifestation of creation our eyes perceive, and so we attach to it. But who are we? We, the identity, are constantly seduced by the form, and yet, by becoming so, are the epitome of life imitating art, and art imitating life. Locked within the perceived dimension of the physical form, our sense of identity reflects this ever-persistent aspect of reality, and as we deepen the attachment, we co-create a reality based on our perception, as opposed to what actually is. This seduction is necessary for the perpetuation of form. However, like holding up a mirror to a mirror, it is the light which refracts infinitely between the two that ultimately shapes the definitions we perceive. Where mirrors meet. Somehow, it is therefore the illusion we are seduced to accept. That temporary manifestation of mirrors reflecting on mirrors. And so, around which we revolve, forever caught with the sense of the other, and by our inability to comprehend the sense of an opposing duality, give rise to an unconscious. There in our dreams and the nuances of our conversations, humour and fractured moments of self-doubt, our unconscious resides like a neglected child, and a child we fear for showing us up. Particularly in moments of collective ritualized behavior, we find the child acting inappropriately because of this neglect. The ritualized moments of collective behavior create an opening for deeper, repressed aspects of ourselves to emerge, due to the safety of knowing that it will fall upon the acceptance of the group and be absorbed as part of the ritualistic mentality. Hence why children often at the worst of times speak the truth. This is the emperor's new clothes. Inappropriate behavior is a cry for help from the neglected child who seeks balance. It is a question projected into the infinite, seeking response, regardless of whether the answer is met with silence, punishment, or empathy. Yet what is inappropriate is really an aspect of the governing reality applying its own expectations upon that which it has no will to understand. Ironically then, to the isolated child, even insults become infectiously appreciated. That which seeks to kill, seeks to be killed, if killing is inappropriate. From the unconscious, it is the request for its own recognition. And through the looking glass. And yet, the assumptions that define the norms of collective ritual are in fact themselves only based on the response to the unknown. What is unknown cannot be experienced. Therefore, all aspects of unknowingness become a natural, fair response which is reinforced, which in turn propels the life of the ritual itself. Each manifestation of life is its own ritual generator, which by its nature seeks to expand its roots into the surrounding infinity. By locating others with a like resonance who exude similar ritual forms, they by their own volition unite, transform, and create multidimensional rituals shared not purely on the basis of physical manifestation, but also on thought creation and co-creation. These thought forms exist beyond the perceived physical, like entities with their own affairs, agendas, and expectations. And the sustenance ceases to be based purely on an individual physical requirement, but on the collective resonance of the group maintaining it. It becomes a seemingly supernatural force, shaping the understandings, experience, and behavior of the group and individual in a form of biofeedback. So we, the collective soul born of ritual, find ourselves when the meaning of grasp is ourselves. For we are the ocean, every droplet so perfectly formed is but a synthesis of itself, all of creation. In the beauty of recognition comes the reflection of self. In the despair of isolation is the beauty of sleep. Nothing is lost but illusion itself, from which we attach or choose to detach according to our will. The language of creation pervades the soul of all living things, driven like a leaf buffeted by the winds of time, following its course from Genesis to death. And yet in between these truths, some leaves flutter not willingly to the ground. There are those that defy gravity, picked up by the breath of the Infinite One and carried to great heights, as those of us from below watched entranced as if in disbelief by the seemingly accidental adventure. How can it be, this tragedy of impossibility, where life meets death in one so divine? Nothing